Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another edition of the program, The Woman. On to today's edition, we'll be talking about women and the aviation profession. And as guest on today's edition is the president of YAPA, which is the Young Africa Aviation Professional Association. We'll be meeting our guest after the break. You're welcome back to the program. Good morning, Fadi.
Good morning.
Yes. You're welcome to Visionka Television. I think it's the third time you're visiting us.
Thank you very much, Ruth, and thank you for always reaching out to us to follow up with what we are doing and how far we've gone. So it's a real pleasure, and I wish to thank Visionka team in whole, and you in particular, for always being by our side.
Okay. Recently, you were awarded a prize and the prize is you were awarded a prize at Korea, the High Flyer Award. What is it all about, and how did you get there?
You know, the International Air Transport Association, IATA, decided to take a next step in rewarding efforts from individuals or organizations or companies that reach out to promote aviation. So the IATA Inclusion and Diversity Award was launched for 3 categories, and this was for the whole world, and it's sponsored by Qatar Airways. So we decided to take part into registering our non-profit organization to show what we do in Africa in promoting aviation, to promote tourism, travel, and hospitality. So we sent our video explaining exactly what we do, and then we got the good surprise that we were shortlisted. So while being shortlisted, we had to have an interview to explain our activities, our present and future plans. Then we got the good news on May 10th that we were actually selected for the High Flyer Award.
Were there any criteria for your association to be shortlisted?
Well,
for the competition?
The initiative is actually to show how all categories of people, all classes of people are involved into the development of aviation. You know that aviation is a very expensive industry, and in Africa, a lot of kids who might be interested don't even know. But we've been raising a lot of awareness. We've been seeing a lot of rising organizations across Africa promoting youth, doing outreach events. So we are now getting more and more conscious of the fact that aviation plays a key role in our communities. So we don't only talk about a specific field, we bring in all categories. We summarize aviation as being the industry of freedom, as IATA says. And so we give the opportunity to everybody passionate about whatever career, because all careers, as I always say, is found in aviation. If you love cooking, you could go in to be a cook for the airline, because we have catering services. If you are a good cleaner, if it's your passion, you have the opportunity of working either on a platform at the airport or in the aircraft. So when you have an industry where being a journalist, you can find your place. And by the way, we need more and more women in the aviation aviation journalism sector. It's really an industry of inclusion and diversity. So it's very fascinating to see that all other careers are found in one industry. So this, I believe, is one of the criteria that made us succeed to get this award, because we don't discriminate. We get people from all ages, get awareness, no religion constraints. We don't focus on who you are, where you are, your physical health. No, we are just passionate about inspiring the next gen, and then giving opportunities for those who don't dream to dream with us.
Okay, what are the opportunities that the aviation professional offers for women?
We put a focus because as a woman myself, a lot of girls that we meet out there scare away from being engineers, from being pilots, from even being a technical specialist on platforms. So today we are seeing many more girls getting into sciences, and we are making them get role models in aviation in all sectors to inspire them. So we before we had a lot of challenges, but right now the tendency is really changing. You know, we organized the career fair last February during the Youth Week in Cameroon, and we had many girls coming out, reaching out and doing the flight simulator and saying they will be pilots. Others say, no, I like managing people, and we're like, yeah, we've got CEOs like Yvonne, the CEO of Rwandair. And you know, it's very amazing to say, oh, you have the civil aviation, and like, what is the civil aviation? And say, it's the regulatory board for commercial aviation. And in Cameroon, we have a lady who is the CEO, Madame Koki. And you're like, really? A woman CEO? So when we reflect and make them understand that they have role models, you know, you see their eyes shining out, and then they are like, I want to be like you. So this is inspiring.
So what have you put in place to encourage or to let more girls be attracted to the profession?
As the founder of the Women in Aviation Cameroon chapter, we always have the Girls in Aviation Day, which is a gathering you have taken part in. And we have many more activities coming up in partnerships with some other organizations. We have the Youth Aviation Tech Africa program that we are launching with WeTech, which is an organization of women in technology based in Cameroon, founded by Elodie Nonga. So we will be putting out the platform out soon to attract young girls, women who might in one way or the other be interested in tech, but who could also develop applications or solutions related to our own environment to improve the aviation, maybe at the airport. We don't know what they're going to surprise us with. So it's an adventure that takes time to mature, but we believe that we're going to reach there.
Any move by the association to facilitate women to get into aviation schools?
Yes. We are in partnerships mainly with most of the African academies because that is what is within reach. We are also doing some intermediations, which I cannot reveal here now, on how to facilitate with the funding, because this is a very key issue. We have a lot of youths reaching out, young girls reaching out, passionate about something, but it's far above the budget of the families. So we are trying to see what could be done with the other main aviation organizations on the continent. Some funds exist, some volunteers also, and some companies are ready to sponsor competent girls interested and passionate. So these two is also in the project. We are working on it, and we hope to see it mature very soon.
Yeah. Are there aviation schools in Cameroon?
Yes, in Cameroon we have the CAE Training Center. Then I recently found the Civil Aviation of Cameroon. Yeah. Okay. I need to bring this out because people seem not to know.
Yeah.
The Cameroon Civil Aviation has a training academy that offers a great variety of courses and even orientation. So being the heading body of the commercial aviation in Cameroon, that is the exact point where all information could be obtained, because the civil aviation gives the authorizations for schools that wants to do training in aviation. So having the CCAA Training Academy in Cameroon with an office in Douala and Yaoundé, ideally is the place where all orientation in regards to Cameroon can be found.
Are there some steps that you've taken to facilitate young girls who want to get into the aviation profession to have access to this training center?
Yes, first through our respective platforms on Facebook. You know, being a non-profit, we use all what social media offers us. We do a lot of awareness, and if you look at the statistics, most of the followers are girls, and this is very interesting. So we make them dream above just being a flight attendant. And this is really, I have many sending me WhatsApps. They all want to meet me. Unfortunately, I'm very busy at the moment, but we're gonna meet very soon and put a plan where we meet, exchange. And I'm reaching out to other women in the sector to join me, to be able to be examples and role models and exchange. So more and more girls and women, even those who are already working in the aviation industry, want to know how to push their career forward. So the tendency is really changing.
Yes. Why are women feet dragging getting science-oriented jobs?
Well, as I always tell the journalist, Africa is particular because our culture still makes us, you know, when you're a woman and you want to do something, you always get the same answer. That's a man's job. Or you're not a boy, you know. The discrimination in profession is still part of our culture, and that is very, very difficult for us to like get up one morning and change the tendency. So you find some parents out of ignorance still disorientating their female children to other careers. Oh no, why do you want to be a mechanic engineer? Why do you want to be a builder? Or why do you want to be an architect for buildings? This is a man's job. You need to think about having your family tomorrow, getting your kids, taking care of your kids. So we try through programs like yours, the platforms that you offer us, to tell parents that you don't need again to be the ones to decide on what your children have to become. And you don't need, we are talking about gender equality. So when you look at the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, we have 0.5 gender equality. So gender equality is not saying that we are disrespecting the male, because in the African culture it's like, oh, you're a woman, you need to respect the man, and so women are being disrespected most of the time. No, it's about changing the mindset and making them understand that we too are actors that contribute to the development of every community. And by nature, I'm not saying this I'm not saying this for the men to feel bad, but by nature, the woman has a great sense of taking care of multitasking. We go to work, we take care of the families, we handle the kids, we follow. So this is a talent, a gift that we have. So why don't they see things differently and try to give us the opportunity to also exchange with them and contribute? Because the world is fast changing. Today with technology we can see. In STEM, it's amazing what changes every minute. So if we still have in our environment the tendency of saying, oh, it's a man's job, I'm sorry to say, girls now the statistics prove that first we have many girls in school, and girls are always among the first 5. And these girls too today have to join the STEM industry because they too have something they can bring up, they too have the passion, and they should be part of the actors for the success of tomorrow's Africa.
Coming back, can you come back to why you decided to carry on or put in place an association or creating an association to like inspire girls or push them to get into the aviation industry? And when did you create the association?
First, I studied in Fontaine, boarding schools, Lady Seat of Wisdom College, Fontaine. And I was passionate about science. So from Form 1, my main courses were physics, maths, biology, chemistry. I was an all-round student, but very passionate about figures. And so I remember when I had to choose between being an art or a science student, I remember my late principal, Miss Jane Dubé, telling me the future of tomorrow is sciences, so I will advise you to go towards sciences. But Miss Jane was a British, so Miss Jane had the vision of the developed world, and I followed what she told me. And my dream was to become a medical doctor. So I did Qs twice and surprisingly failed at the orals. Then I went to the University of Boya and started with life sciences, hoping to go back to the medical school. And 2 years after, I decided to switch to go into economics. Why? Because I understood that at that time, 1998 to 2000, doing sciences for me, I just thought you would end up being a physics or chemistry teacher, and I did not want to teach. So throughout my struggle of finding myself left and right, I finally got a job in the startup phase of our national airlines after working for Huawei, where I discovered technology for 3 years, but I wasn't a technical student. Then working for UBA, the bank, I found myself in Cameco, but as administration manager. And taking part at the startup phase of the airline and seeing the importance of aviation, which was something I had no clue about, I said to myself, if aviation is the pillar for the development because it involves the movement of people and goods from one place to the other, then if the youths are in the same situation that I was years back with no orientation, I definitely have to make a platform where I will invite the professionals to exchange with the younger ones. I will actually, thinking about YAPA was just to make sure that youths shouldn't have the same challenge that I had when I was in school. Because I will say I really lacked inspiration and orientation. I had no role model. Someone will say the technology was not the same, but no. A professional could have come to my school. A professional could have come all the way to explain about the careers related to his industry. Maybe I would have thought of it and taken the right decision and not just limited myself to med school. So 2014, after having a conference in Addis Ababa where I discovered Ethiopia with all its beauty and the infrastructures and the academy, I was like, no, something needs to be done. Because what we knew when we were small about Ethiopia, all the images was about hunger. So when I was going there, everyone was like, what are you going to do in that country? And when I got there, I was so amazed that I always refer to Ethiopia as the story of the ant and the grasshopper. I said, while we were singing, "We Are the World" to get funds for the Ethiopian children, they were actually the ants building up. And we are still singing, and they are now safe. So I said, the perception that we can have about a situation can always be broken if we speak out. So I decided to create a platform to enable the elders, the volunteers, people with experience to come and exchange with the next generation. Because I firmly believe that everything has to be done in Africa, but it has to be done with Africans.
Who are members of YAPA?
YAPA membership is open to any volunteer. So we go in for the passionate who are ready to volunteer and to listen. Why do I summarize it like this? You know the challenges of non-profits in Africa, and Cameroon in particular. If you put on fees, people will accuse you of trying to get money to do something. If you try to raise funds, people will accuse you of trying to enrich yourself. No. With YAPA, we are creating a platform to exchange and make sure people get the right information.
And where do you have funds to sponsor all your activities? How do you get them?
Very interesting. People say I'm crazy, and I think, yes, I have the positive craziness. For the past 4 years and a half, I've been taking 1/3 of my salary, of what I earn, to organize my events. Simply because I have reached out to organizations related to aviation in Cameroon, and very few got interested. When I say very few, I basically had no response. We once organized the Youth Aviation Forum for Africa, and we had the opportunity to get support from the civil aviation. But reaching out to others to invite them to even come and exhibit who they are, what they are doing, put in their adverts so that kids could ask questions, it's difficult. So we are very happy that we got the award, because the award goes with the sponsorship of Qatar Airways of $25,000 US. And we already have a plan, because we have planned to launch the YAPA community centers in the rural areas We have 2 regions already in our pipeline, where the community center will serve as a platform for education. We are not only promoting aviation today, we are also promoting the other fields that are related to aviation, like tourism. And we really want to encourage eco-travel and eco-tourism, because that's what is the characteristic of Africa. We still have the ecosystem in place, but we should train our own culture to ensure that we benefit from what our environment offers us. So we are not only promoting aviation today, we have moved on promoting aviation, travel and tourism careers for the youth, even in the rural areas, to understand that their environment, their ecosystem could also be fund generating. So when people will fly there, they will definitely have to discover something.
So as a woman as a woman in this domain, fighting for other women to join you in the fight, what are some of the challenges that you've come through so far, and how do you overcome such challenges?
The first challenge that I've had are the women themselves. So I have to say it straight. It's very complicated when women go into fighting leadership in organizations that are non-profits. We work out to offer a platform, but the challenges that I've had are some of the women themselves. I have brought in women to work hand in hand with me and my team, and it will be amazing, because these are the same women who have gone around not only blackmailing, but also trying to do competition by creating other organizations. It's a good thing, but even if you create your organization, then we could still do a confederation and do our activities together. It's not as if you're going in to challenge someone. I don't gain anything from what I'm doing, and no one can blame me for having had the idea before. So, and I don't tell people you don't have to say a word. No, it's a solidarity where if I can have 100 ladies engaged, then if each lady will inspire 10, that's a growing population. But the women themselves, I challenge. So the other challenge, I wouldn't really call it challenges. People need to see what you do to believe in what you do. Because people have reached out to support initiatives and have been disappointed. So that's why we try as much as possible to get transparency. And then we don't work out with unrealistic activities. No, we go step by step. If you follow our move since 2014, we go step by step. We don't jump the staircase, no.
Before next on the program is a video on Fadimato's award in South Korea. We'll be right back. Fadimato Nuchemu Simo has been awarded in the category of the High Flyer Award during the International Air Transport Summit in Seoul, Korea, for her mission raising awareness of aviation as a potential career in communities which may not ordinarily be exposed to aviation, attracting women to join the aviation industry. Handing out the prestigious award to the winner, Gloria Guevara, President and CEO of the World Travel and Tourism Council, appreciated the endeavor and called on more women to join the campaign.
This High Flyer Award recognizes young leaders who are driving the industry forward, but it's very important to recognize who is encouraging new generations in our industry through different initiatives. Attracting girls to aviation, recruitment programs, and the most important is to inspire future generations to work in this amazing industry.
Overwhelmed, the winner described the circumstances within which she took the bold step integrating the aviation industry, which took her to the creation of the Young African Aviation Professional Association.
Knowing about aviation 9 years ago, I was very concerned with the fact that being at school, I never had an opportunity to know about what aviation was and the importance that aviation has in the development of all economies. So I was privileged to join the startup of my national airline, And I found out that something needed to be done because we all know aviation in Africa is still in progress. And I said, we need to start from the roots. And having the support of all the organizations in Africa, AFRA, AFCAC, IATA, supporting me each time I had this idea of creating a platform to create exchange between the professionals and the youth.
Welcome back home at the Douala International Airport by members of the association, Fadimatu has promised taking her campaign to other communities as she, in the days ahead, intends establishing a community center in Cameroon.
This now is an indication that more has to be done. We are on the right track and we engage ourselves through volunteering.
The summit brought together more than 1,000 leaders of the global air transport industry, with participants discussing the essence of aviation, building a global community by connecting people, businesses, and cultures across great distances. You're welcome back to the program. Fadi, we just saw you in South Korea when you were awarded this prestigious, I can say it's a prestigious gift. What were your feelings? How did you feel finding yourself amongst, let me say, top aviation professionals, and you from Cameroon?
Well, I was moved with a lot of emotions because when I saw how far I had gone with just believing in the idea I had and getting this award at the World Aviation Summit in Korea during the General Assembly of IATA, it was, you know, not even a dream come true because when I was going out to do outreach, I never thought it could get attention that it has had. You know, first was ICAO, me joining the next generation of aviation professionals group in ICAO, me being invited by the African Civil Aviation Organization to present what I do with IATA, with YAPA at their General Assembly last year, me being able to speak to all the stakeholders of aviation in Africa, and then now having the opportunity not only to speak to aviation, travel and tourism top professionals, but receiving an award. You know, we were asked to prepare a speech, and I couldn't even write because I thought it wasn't real. And until Mrs. Gloria Guevara, former Minister of Mexico, of Tourism of Mexico, by the way, a very inspiring woman, had to call my name and say, Fadi, I was like, no, I can't believe. So at the start of, when I received this award, I was like, yes, we are on the right track. Africa is on the right track. The message is going very far because I keep on saying you will not develop Africa aviation without Africans. And if I could have this opportunity to speak to all the stakeholders, because there we had all the stakeholders.
Were there other Africans?
Yes, we had Africans from very few, but we had the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines who was there, Mr. Tewolde. We had the Secretary General of AFRA who was there, the former Secretary General of AFRA who was there, the CEO of Air Mauritius, the CEO of Kenya Airways, the CEO of Congo Airways, the African team of journalists who were present, who did a lot of follow-up after we got the award, because it's not a Cameroon award only, it's an African award. And this was the initial launch of the award. So if launching such an award of inclusion and diversity, YAPA got this award, the message to all the other organizations in Africa is we are on the right track. We should keep it up. And then I will be happy next year to see another African having the same feeling that I had when I was receiving the award.
Okay, what are your relationship with all the other stakeholders in the aviation sector?
Well, we have a very good relationship because they are ready to reach out. In some of our events that we've organized, we've got support from them. with the gadgets, the goodies, the posters that we offered back to the kids. And I wish to seize the opportunity here to thank one of our faithful supporter, Mr. Boutibo of Bombardier, because he goes beyond Bombardier to support the initiative since I had the idea of doing of creating the Young African Aviation Professional Association, but more has to be done. You know, there are big organizations, at times when you contact them, it takes a longer time for them to respond, but we are so grateful to have IATA from the first day taking into account whatever initiative that we have ever done. We did the Youth Aviation Forum for Africa here in Douala. The IATA team came. They invite us to come on their platforms to share the experience and the activities that we do. IATA has definitely given us the opportunity to be known to the world, and I would like, since I just got this award, to thank them through Alexandre Juniac, the CEO, Funke, Raphael Kuchi, Fabrice Sahiri, Taiwo, all the team, because you guys are doing a great team. You are a great team, and you are doing a lot to promote the African aviation. So with this saying, many are still coming into place, and with our donor Qatar Airways, we also want to say a big thank you. And we know that through the work we're going to take across Africa, because it's not only going to be in Cameroon, more will be seen in the years to come.
Talking about more is still to come. What next after the award?
First, as I said, this award gives us the opportunity to establish our community center. So with the community center, we're going to give a platform for youths who are interested to have an environment where we will be having a digital library. We want to put everything digital. And since we know in this part of the country there are some challenges, we want to make it an eco-friendly community center where we will be using local materials, we will be having solar system or any other natural system for energy. And we want to really see what could be the idea that youth could bring forward. Then we also want to sponsor a startup initiative through our Youth Aviation Tech Africa program, because most of the youth into high tech today, developing software applications, they do it but for other fields. So I would be happy to get a group of youths passionate who could, through their work, give us a vision of what they could want to see in our airports or in our airline, or a system they could develop. I mean, it's just to make them also just have awareness on aviation technology. So through the YATA program that we are launching, we will be having a startup lab for them to be able to demonstrate what they think about.
Okay. So what would it take for a young girl to be part of the center? Or take part? What would it take? What would it take for a young girl to be part of activities of the center?
It's free registration. It's free registration, and also we are working on a program for August in partnership with the Girl Flight Program of South Africa of Refiloué Lebwada. We are launching the GFPA of Cameroon in August. The confirmed dates will be communicated, but it's going to be a boot camp for girls exclusively for 5 days. So in weeks to come, we're going to send, participation will be free. All they need is to be able to be registered with the parents, giving authorization for them to spend the 5 days with us. But it's an open event. We don't make people pay. We want the girls especially to be able to share the experience with the professionals, to get orientation, and this is really going to happen this year.
Away from the center, any other projects?
Yeah, you know, this year we launched the Yapa Festival, and we are already working for the next edition of the second edition of the Career Fair in Yaoundé.
And what was the Yapa Festival all about?
The Yapa Festival was an event just after the forum with the idea of inviting people to fly to discover. So the theme is Fly to Discover with Yapa. Because when we're talking about promoting aviation, travel, tourism, and culture, we want people to be able to discover the diversity that we can offer. So this festival was all about bringing in the cultural dances, the cultural dresses, bringing in the diversity and including all communities from all other countries in Cameroon. So we had an amazing evening with different cultural dances from Chad, Equatorial Guinea, Congo, and Cameroon. You know, Cameroon itself has a huge diversity where we don't know what we have. So for 2020, we are going to do the same, but we're going to launch from October a series of activities for youth to compete, to take part. Because what we want to do is, apart from raising awareness on the professional or career plans for the youth, we also want them to enjoy the diversity, the cultural diversity that we have. We want people to be able to be interested in what is happening next door, because while going around doing the outreach, we found out that kids from a city like Douala, born, studied, living in Douala, don't even know what is happening in the West. So we are trying through this to make the cultures being known, to prepare their mindset into getting interested into what tourism is all about, what travel is all about. So as I say, we are going gradually, but we are working on training minds, on understanding what are the future careers that they could explore as well.
Apart from Yapa, what else do you have as projects for the young girls?
We are partnering with all other organizations that encourage the girl, because I believe that we need to seize all the organizations existing that are already mobilizing girls, like WAFAC, for example, of Zone Zero. She's doing an amazing job in Cameroon in raising awareness and gathering girls. And then we are looking forward for other organizations, because apart from creating a platform to orientate them and motivating them, every day we meet cases. So now I'm orientating myself on becoming a social entrepreneur in diverse fields. I have a group, for example, I found out a group of 10 young ladies who are nappy hairdressers, jobless, who are not able to get money to open a salon. And you know, I'm working on this plan, because I personally believe that as women who have had the opportunity to demarcate ourselves a little bit, we need to give up. We need to give back to the community. We need to support and get other women support the other women, because we face similar challenges. We face similar problems. We better know how we are, who we are, because we are of the same gender. So a lot of things come my way. A lot of things. Unfortunately, I cannot do everything by myself. So I'm reaching out to women who are sensitive, who want to get involved. They can contact you, they can contact me if they want, and then we can see what we can do, because we need to improve our communities. We women need to be able to work hand in hand. And I see this opportunity to really commend the fact that you have been putting a focus for the past years in your program on giving the platform for the woman to speak for herself. And this is really great, because through television you can touch many people, you can touch many girls, and it can also help the men understand that we too are part of the community, and we too have to progress our communities. And my word to the parents is to please, the world is changing, you too have to change. Yes, back you did not have smartphones, but you're used to smartphones today. So also condition your mind of not discriminating between the male child and the female child. Change your language at home. Don't tell your kid it's a man's job. Don't tell your son, don't go to the kitchen, it's a woman's place. Don't tell your child. So with all these activities,
they are supposed to be given equal opportunities.
Definitely. If we really want to meet up with the Agenda 2063 of Africa, it involves all Africans with no discrimination. So we shouldn't get our traditions keep us behind. No.
Okay. Now, from all what you've said, it seems you have so much at hand. How do you manage all this?
Well, when you're passionate, you don't feel it as if it was heavy work. I'm just passionate. I mean, people are passionate about a lot of things. Some people have hobbies. My passion has become my hobby. So whatever I do for the progress of humanity, whatever initiative that could give a smile on someone who did not dream of having a smile, has become my passion. So having my hobby being my passion, there is no limit. So I always find time to do the work that I'm supposed to do, and then I do my activities like a hobby.
Okay. Since you created the association and you've been carrying on so many activities, if you were to give a balance sheet, are you satisfied so far?
Yes, I'm very satisfied, because when I look around, and first in Africa, I go on Facebook and I see the growing number of non-profit organizations raising awareness. I'm happy, because doing the Young African Aviation Professional Association was an inclusion of all Africa, taking into account that we needed ambassadors to be able to follow up what we are doing. Now, if wishing to get ambassadors turns out to having engaged, passionate individuals who create non-profit organizations to raise awareness, that is the best I could have expected. So the tendency has actually changed now. I mean, you get more and more media doing events on aviation, bringing in women as role models, taking in pilots like Refiwe. Like recently, she had a whole program on BBC, on CNN, on her activities that she's doing, her remarkable activities that she's doing in the Southern African region. So this makes me feel very happy, because when I compare it to 5 years ago, I barely saw this kind of motion around aviation. So I'm very satisfied.
Here you talk, it seems as you are just working all around the clock. How do you distract yourself?
Oh, I always find time to distract myself. So weekends I go out with folks for dinner, nightclub. So I have a normal life. As I say, my activities with my nonprofit is my hobby, my passion, and I also love dancing and listening to music. So when I'm working at times, I'm listening to music, and when I'm having my weekend, I share myself between working for the nonprofit, and then I have time to go and eat. I have a daughter, and my daughter is my member, and she's also very active in what I do. So we have fun together. So we go out for dinner. She gives me her idea. She tells me how to put it for the young girl like her to better understand. So for me, I have a complete life.
We are almost getting out of time. If you were to address parents, women who are watching us right now, what will you tell them?
I will tell them that they should encourage all their kids the same way. My mother had 2 kids, and the 2 kids are girls. And the 2 kids have kids who are girls. So my mother has a family of girls. And when I see what we have been able, my sister and myself, to accomplish in our respective domains, my mom is one of the proud moms on earth. So if she had to face the constant recrimination of saying, oh, I don't have a male child, and bet you me, I've heard my mom more than once say she regrets not having a male child. But today she's like, oh, I'm so proud of my girls. So my message to the parents are, believe in your child, because if you have a child, no matter the sex, the child has the same constitution to think, to study, to invent, and to grow. So all you need to do is believe in your kids and give them the opportunity of following their dreams. No idea, I say no idea is a bad idea. I thought about creating a platform to inspire the next generations of aviation professionals, and today I'm receiving an award. I remember some friends telling me, "You are not a rich girl, why do you think you need to go and invest your money in a non-profit?" Today, inspiring the younger one, making your child becoming the best he can be is your reward in the long run. And for the young girls out there, if you have a dream, stick to your dream. If you have an idea, there is no stupid idea. You will always meet someone who will try to discourage you, someone who will always try to make you feel you're mean. No, the power is within you. So never give up. Keep up to your feelings, keep up to your dreams, believe in yourself. And if you have doubts, reach out to me. Reach out to Ruth, because we are standing out as women to support the young girl, the female gender. And as we say, we're gonna make it for gender equality.
Talking about the aviation profession, we had to reach out to an airport attendant. Let's watch. We'll be right back.
Le départ de l'avion est prévu à l'heure. Ce vol est effectué. Je m'appelle Awa. Je suis agent d'escale commercial Air France depuis 10 ans à Paris-Charles de Gaulle. C'est très bien passé, on n'a eu aucun problème, aucun échaud, on a fermé à l'heure. Le métier d'agent d'escale, c'est l'accueil, l'enregistrement, l'embarquement ainsi que les arrivées. C'est prendre en charge en fait le client dans l'aéroport, au niveau de ses bagages, lui donner un siège et l'accompagner jusqu'à l'avion effectivement et laisser la suite à nos collègues PNC. Alors l'embarquement se fera en porte E35 qui nous permet de noter ça là. Voilà. C'est un métier qui demande beaucoup de disponibilité, il faut être disponible pour le client. Je dois rendre service, je suis là pour m'occuper du client, répondre à ses questions et à ses besoins. La carte bien enregistrée, vous l'avez là. C'est la porte d'embarquement E41. Pour être agent d'escale commercial, il faut d'abord aimer la relation clientèle, aimer le contact avec les autres. Et moi, je vous souhaite un très bon voyage, messieurs, dames. Merci beaucoup. J'aime rendre service et je me sens utile. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your flight. Bye. Madame. Au moment de l'embarquement du passager, je prends toutes les informations nécessaires au vol. Je prends contact avec l'équipage. L'embarquement d'ici 5 minutes quand vous serez. Et ensuite, quand tout est en place, je commence l'embarquement. Mesdames, Messieurs, bonjour. Le vol Air France 636 à destination de Houston est prêt pour l'embarquement. Je vous souhaite un très bon séjour, Monsieur Dominguez. Au revoir. Alors tout s'est bien déroulé, on n'a eu aucun incident. Le transport aérien est une activité où on peut avoir des aléas, on peut avoir des problèmes météorologiques, on peut avoir des retards. On doit être en mesure d'apporter des solutions à notre client. C'est un challenge permanent, c'est ce qui me plaît dans ce métier.
Fadi, we just watched a video on an airport attendant, which is one of the fields of the aviation profession. Do you have a word?
Yes, you can see through the video the enthusiasm and the expression of her loving the job she's doing on the airport platform. And this is why we're saying that people should not just think about aviation as being the airline. Professions like that on a platform could be 1,000, you know, because you are on a platform where you need to orientate the passengers, they need to get the right information, they need to know on time where their gate is. If they are facing a challenge, they might have started a flight and then they have a headache, they need to know where to go. So every detail counts with regards to aviation. And as we say, as Ayata says, aviation is an industry of freedom. You see her enthusiasm. Yeah. She's doing it. Her job.
Yeah, it's fun.
Her job is fun. Her job is, you can see through her expression that she loves what she's doing. And this is what matters. When you love what you're doing, you go beyond what you're supposed to do without realizing, but making your customer satisfied. So this is a typical example. And we try as much as possible to like demonstrate this to the next gen for them to be able to see that you can have a job where you are happy, where you love what to do and what you do, and then express. You see, when you look at her, she's so happy to share about what she lives daily, how she does her job. And we want each and every one in the future to be as happy as she is in whatever they will do.
Okay. Thanks, Fadi, for coming to the program, and we hope that you come some other time to continue campaigning or sensitizing parents and young girls not to be afraid to get what they want in life.
Thank you very much, Youth, for inviting us, and thank you for all the support you've been providing, which is really amazing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for today's edition of the program. If you did enjoy the program, why not keep on watching programs on Vision Card Television?